So for my prize, I picked the Children's Africana Book Award. The purpose of this award is to showcase African culture in a more balanced light, not just showing the exotic and barbaric side, but showing a more realistic picture of African culture. And most of the authors that write for this, category of this award, they are African and they have lived in Africa, and so they have a more realistic sense of the culture. Prizing criteria: nominated books must be for ages 4 to 18. Um, the majority of the book does have to be about Africa. The book also has to be copyrighted in the year preceding the awards ceremony and must be available in hardback or paperback and also in English, but translations are available. As far as nominations are made by publishers, and publishers can make as many separate titles as they want. Um, After that process, each book is evaluated by African studies and children's literature scholars. Then reviews of nominated titles are posted on Africa Access. Then lastly, selected printed reviews are published in Sankofa, which is a journal. This award was presented at first in 1991, and today there are more than 70 awards that have been given. It was originally created by Africa Access and the Outreach Council of the African Studies Association to kind of showcase African culture in a more positive and balanced light as the increase of African immigrants rose in the U.S. The need and necessity to, and also the availability of authors that were African in the U.S. Increased, and so this kind of gave the push to the award. They had the authors, and they also there was more advocacy for the need to showcase African culture and share it rightly. Audience, as we talked about, is ages 4 to 18. There are 3 categories for this award: young children, older readers, and new adult. Something interesting to note is that, as far as the website goes, it didn't really um, clearly distinguish between these 3 categories. So I think that really kind of ties into the keywords that we've been reading about and kind of the difficulty in having parameters for these categories and kind of solidifying, okay, these are young children books for older readers and books for new adults. So that's interesting. Because of this wide age range, I think this is just suggesting that one of the goals of this award is to have that correct cultural awareness or portrayal, and they seem to target a wide range of audiences. So they don't discriminate, they don't save it for the older kids, and they don't just talk about it in the younger kids. They start early and they keep going until the kids are adults. So cultural awareness is for everyone, it seems like, and it should start early and continue on. Patterns within the winning books. So these are the books that won for the young readers category, and then these are the books that won for the older readers categories. Both categories were diverse in authors. There wasn't just the same Nigerian author writing. There's kind of the stereotype that Nigerians dominate everything, and usually their culture is more showcased. So I was really surprised to see that they had every region of Africa represented. So they had authors from Egypt writing about Egypt, authors from Kenya writing about activists, in Kenya, like Seeds of Change. That's a book about a Kenyan woman. They had writers from Uganda. They had writers where the protagonist was Muslim, so there was kind of that intersectionality, but there wasn't a ton in sexuality or race per se. Well, there was a little bit, yeah, but there was not a lot of diversity in sexuality because a lot of African countries are religious. But there was diversity in country and location, author. Most of the books were fiction. There was some fiction. There was diversity in the kind of fiction, the style. So it was in different settings. Some were adventures. There was not a lot of mysteries though. But yeah, some were adventures, some were realistic. A lot of realistic fiction. Yeah, so it was diverse because Africa is diverse. So naturally there was diversity, but there was lacking diversity in some things. Um, yeah, availability and accessibility was lacking though, because not all of the books that I've won in the last 2 years are available in the libraries. 70% of them were available in the Adair County one, but only 80% were available in the St. Louis County Library. So I was finding it really surprising that not all the books that I've won in the last 2 years are available in the library, and even when they are, there's only one copy. So my position on this award, I think it was really successful in the fact that it shines light on books that would otherwise get overlooked, and it also allows for recognition for specific characteristics that can't be listed under one award. So it's hard to have just one award that is diverse in culture, religion, race, etc., etc. Um, and just have one award for that. So having awards that are categorized does allocate for recognizing specific characteristics, like recognizing books that are very culturally enlightening, or books that are very fictionally, good, or like books that are really good in the disability category. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, shortcomings are that not all awards are carried in the same weight or notability or recognition, um, because um, although like all these books that won, they have this award stamped on the seal, some of them are still not recognized. So although these awards do give recognition, sometimes the recognition doesn't hold as much weight. um, yeah, so that's kind of the sad thing, but we're making progress. Those are my sources.